House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. You know, one of the most interesting gambling markets in the United States today is Pennsylvania. New casinos are being built, new sports books are opening, online casinos and sports books are going live, and it seems like the growth is not going to stop anytime soon. And we're going to talk to a person who's at the center of it all. Kevin O'Toole, the executive director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, is going to tell us what's happening in the Keystone State. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code
SPICE404.
They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. Amazing things are happening in Pennsylvania lately. Retail sports books are opening, online sports books are going live, and in the last couple of weeks, online casinos have launched in the Keystone State. And to help us understand what's going on in the great state of Pennsylvania, we have a person who's been at the center of it all. Joining us now is Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, Kevin O'Toole. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm pleased to be here.
You know, I got to tell you, as a resident of New Jersey, I've been watching in amazement of the expansion and what's happening in Pennsylvania with regard to the gambling market. Now, I know the men and women of the Gaming Control Board are usually very, very busy, you know, on normal circumstances. But I got to ask you, what has it been like in the last year or so with this incredible expansion?
Well, it's been exciting and certainly very challenging. What we have relied upon is the fact that we have some outstanding employees who have been very loyal to us as their employer, and we have quite a few 10-year employees at our agency. So, in relying upon their expertise in regulating land-based casinos, they have stepped forward, and we have learned what we need to do to roll out all of the various expanded forms of gambling.
You know, I want to start talking about one of the biggest news stories of this past year, and that's sports betting. Right now, there's a lot of states debating whether to make sports betting legal. But in your opinion, how important was it for Pennsylvania to get sports betting? Was it crucial in order to compete with other states around you?
Well, I think it was extremely important. And I think that was shown by our legislature when they were putting together an expanded gambling bill. They included sports wagering 6 months before the Supreme Court rendered their decision in May of 2018. So that showed a lot of foresight by our legislators and the administration, recognizing the importance of giving sports wagering as a betting activity to our successful land-based casinos. And that's the approach that they put into that expanded gambling bill. And not surprisingly, when the Supreme Court rendered their decision, that facilitated our land-based casinos to give their priority to sports wagering. So that's why we have moved faster on the sports wagering front than on some of the other areas.
You know, when we talk about the brick and mortar and the retail physical sports books, how many does Pennsylvania have right now?
Well, I believe it's 9. We opened up Presque Isle for their retail sports last week, and if my count is accurate, we're at 9 retail locations. Those 9 retail locations include 2 off-track betting locations that are owned by Greenwood Gaming, who own and operate Parks Casino.
You know, one of the great things about Pennsylvania and the gambling market there, I mean, I live in New Jersey, and the closest sports book to me and casino is Parks Casino, right in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. If I want to go to a sports book, I have to go either to the Meadowlands or down to Atlantic City. How big of a benefit for Pennsylvania is the fact that sports books and casinos are located throughout the state and aren't specifically put in one area of the state like New Jersey?
Well, I think that's been one of the factors that's contributed to the success of the casino industry in Pennsylvania. As you know from the locations of the 12 existing land-based casinos, most of those are in the higher populated cities: Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Bethlehem, Erie, Harrisburg. So that's been part of what has made Pennsylvania success. They coined the term convenience gambling early on. That's not used quite as frequently any longer, but you know there's some truth to to having a convenient casino market to accommodate the many people who live and work in Pennsylvania who enjoy casinos and gambling as an entertainment activity.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Where was the house? Where was the House of Cards?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Kevin O'Toole, the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board. You know, it seems like for sports betting, the target time to open a sports book is the start of the NFL season. Will we see more brick-and-mortar sports books opening up relatively soon in Pennsylvania, or will it be a gradual expansion of the physical sports books?
No, we have, as I indicated, 9 retail sports books. We have 4 online platforms. We opened up the Valley Forge FanDuel online system last week. So as we move, as we move through August, we do anticipate several more sports openings in anticipation of the first week of the NFL season.
You know, I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, not only does Pennsylvania have some of the best brick-and-mortar sports books, but now you have online sports books, and you've mentioned that you have 4 of them, correct?
That's correct.
Now, what are the rules for the sports books for people out of state? Now, do you have to be in the state to sign up for them? Do you have to place a bet within the state borders? What are the rules that go along with the online sports books?
Sure. The online sports book, you have to register for an account, and when you register for an account, various required verifications occur: an age verification, identity verification, and once you're cleared through those know your customer verification steps, your account will be approved. And you'll have the ability to place deposits onto your account. When you choose to utilize your account and you log in to the website of the property that you've registered for, there will be a geolocation test. Anybody who places a wager has to place their wager within the boundaries of Pennsylvania. The same thing applies in New Jersey. Anyone who places a wager in New Jersey has to do so within the boundaries of New Jersey. So that's the process. Certainly, Pennsylvanians can go over to New Jersey and have an account there, and vice versa. And that's not just New Jersey, but any other bordering jurisdiction. A player can come into our jurisdiction, and while they're in Pennsylvania, they can engage in online sports betting.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned about people crossing over to New Jersey and New Jersey crossing over to Pennsylvania. We've gotten lots of questions about, you know, I have a FanDuel account or a Sugar House account on my phone in New Jersey. Will I need to sign up for a FanDuel and a Sugar House account in Pennsylvania? And do I have to put a new app on my phone? How does that work with existing apps in New Jersey if they're crossing over into Pennsylvania?
Well, you do have to register for a Pennsylvania account, without a doubt. And with respect to operators who have a platform in New Jersey, in some circumstances, you can go onto a FanDuel website, for instance, and if you have an account in both jurisdictions, you can select which jurisdiction you're located in to engage in the gambling activity at that particular time. You cannot be in Pennsylvania and gamble on your New Jersey account.
Okay.
And same thing would apply. You cannot be in New Jersey and gamble on your Pennsylvania account.
That's great information. Well, let's stick with New Jersey. I mean, they have something like over 80% of the revenue comes from sports betting on their mobile devices or online. Do you expect to see something like that in Pennsylvania when it comes to where the revenue is generated from the sports books?
Well, that's a great question, Dave. It's too early for us to draw any tendencies at the moment because the online platforms, you know, are maybe a month and a half old, and as I indicated, the fourth one only a week in operation. But certainly some of the tendencies in New Jersey in terms of the success of the online platform will show up in Pennsylvania as well. Whether it's that high or not, it's too early to tell at 80%. I certainly couldn't, guess on what that percentage will be at this point.
You know, as I said with the physical sports books, you know, the NFL season is coming up, and that's a target date for a lot of sports books. Are we going to see more online sports books in the coming month in anticipation of the NFL, or are they spacing them out throughout the fall?
Well, it's not a question of spacing them out, Dave.
Okay.
When one of our casinos who has invested the money to be a sports wagering certificate holder, when they feel that they are ready, we accommodate them. So we work with all of the properties on an ongoing basis. But generally, when they feel that they're 3 to 5 weeks away from launching, then we give priority to that launch, and we make sure that the property is ready to go and is able to open on their timeline.
You know, one of the other big stories of the summer in the gambling world has been that Pennsylvania went live with their online casinos. Right now, how many online casinos does Pennsylvania have?
3 right now, and they launched the week of July 15th.
Now, when someone in Pennsylvania logs on to the 3 online casinos, are they seeing the finished product, or are these a work in progress? Will there be more games added on? What can people expect when they see these online casinos?
Well, they'll see more than adequate number of games to give them choices. But I think it's fair to say that just like patrons who enjoy going to a casino and experiencing the atmosphere of a casino, if they're slot machine players, they like to see new product. That same principle applies online. So, effective. We have quite a few manufacturers of game content who are developing new product on a daily basis. So those manufacturers have the ability to get any new product tested and approved in a reasonably short turnaround period, and offer those products to the operators, the internet gaming operators. So you'll see new product on a continual basis moving forward.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of August 5th, 2019. DraftKings has opened its branded online casino studio in New Jersey. The studio, which is housed in the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City, will feature live dealers and offer blackjack and a high-speed version of Baccarat 24 hours a day. The project was developed with Evolution Gaming and will feature a sports theme with dealers wearing sports jerseys. The Nevada Gaming Commission has taken a name off the state's infamous Black Book. The reason why alleged mobster Charles Joseph Panarello was removed is because he had passed away 2 years ago. Accordingly, the commission felt he no longer posed a threat to the casino industry in the state. And finally, a big jackpot was won at the Kickapoo Lucky Eagle Casino in Texas last Friday night. A gambler, whose name has not been released, spent only $3 at the U-Spin Jackpot Penny slot machine, but took home more than $1.5 million. Since 2011, 10 people have won more than $1 million at the casino. Sounds like that's one great place to gamble. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Well, don't take it too hard. I've done a lot of stupid things in my life, too.
Stupid? What do you mean, stupid?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here. For those of you just joining us, I'm talking with Kevin O'Toole, the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board. Talk to me about the rollout itself. Are people pleased about the initial couple of weeks, or did you hear about any concerns or any problems that occurred during the rollout?
Well, we conducted test periods. Generally, it was a 3-day test period, and the things went very well through the test. We've monitored the activity subsequently, and everything seems to be going well. It's still too early to get a handle on how fast the growth will be. but I think that the operators are pleased with the early returns.
Being a resident of New Jersey, I was there the first week New Jersey rolled out their online casinos, and there were a couple of glitches that had to be fixed. And one of those glitches was the geolocation software. And I'm sure technology has improved since New Jersey went online. But have you heard of any problems with geolocation with regard to the online casinos in Pennsylvania?
No, Dave, we haven't. But we have really focused on geolocation. So there are tests are conducted prior to launch. They're retested during the launch, and so far that system is working extremely well. Not surprisingly, it is the same system that New Jersey uses, and that particular system. Since New Jersey launched 5+ years ago, has been able to become extremely reliable. Not only for Pennsylvania, but it's extremely reliable in New Jersey as well.
Oh, absolutely. I always tell the story. The first week they rolled out in New Jersey, I can play online in my living room, but I couldn't play online in my bedroom, and I only live 7 miles away from the Pennsylvania border. So, and I don't live in a big house, so it's amazing how technology has progressed since then.
I don't have any comment to that anecdotal story, Dave.
No, but it's the early years of online casinos. But also, one of the other problems New Jersey had was, some of the banks wouldn't collect the money or wouldn't allow you to deposit into the online casinos. Have you had any problems with banks with regard to deposits or withdrawals with regard to the online casinos?
Well, Dave, that's an excellent question, and with the experience of New Jersey, which as you know is into their fifth year, I believe, maybe their sixth year. In 2013, I think they rolled out. Mm-hmm. We've been very pleased with the payment processing system in Pennsylvania. The financial institutions that utilize the casinos as their clients do a great job of making sure that when we roll out either online sports wagering or online internet gambling, that it's done in a legal, highly regulated environment. The payment processors understand that. They do on occasion verify that an operator has had their systems tested and approved by independent testing labs or by state regulatory testing labs, and they they facilitate the process with the major credit card companies to help ensure that deposits can be accepted through credit card processing.
Yeah, I got to ask you, the fact that New Jersey had some problems with their rollout in the online casinos, how important was that for Pennsylvania to look at that and follow what New Jersey did right and especially wrong in order to effectively roll out your online casinos?
Well, we have an excellent relationship with New Jersey, and their experience has helped not just Pennsylvania, but their experience has helped Mississippi launch sports wagering in other jurisdictions as well. But also, it's important to note that the same payment processing companies that have been active in New Jersey for 5+ years are the payment processors now with an additional set of clients in Pennsylvania. So they're experienced in this environment.
You know, one of the incredible stories coming out of New Jersey is that the Golden Nugget online casino is bringing in the same amount of money as their brick-and-mortar casino. Will Pennsylvania take a page out of the Golden Nugget playbook and adopt what they're doing with regard to live dealers?
We have several companies that perform those services, and they are in the process of bringing that product to Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Studio gaming, studio table games. We have seen their operations, and it's very impressive. They do a great job of protecting and taking those steps that are necessary to protect the integrity of the games that they are projecting out in an online fashion with live dealers. So we think that will be a successful application of the table game online system. It's still a little bit down the road, though. Those companies have to establish suitable locations and create the studio in the way that they know how to do it. It will come to Pennsylvania, and it should help our jurisdiction in a manner similar to how it's benefited New Jersey.
You know, I make it a point to keep up with all the proposed legislation with regard to gambling, and I see some states have draft legislation that does not have online or mobile elements to whether it be their sports books or their casinos. Now, you're working in the field and you see it firsthand every day. How important will mobile and online gambling and betting be to the gambling business in the future?
You know, I mean, it appears that it'll be very important, but in terms of making any reliable conclusions, you know, give us another 6 months, and we'll be more inclined to answer that with some quantitative evidence. It's just too early in the rollout in Pennsylvania to come to any clear conclusion.
You know, one of the things that fascinates me about the gambling market in Pennsylvania, and I know a lot of our listeners are very interested in this as well, is the idea of the mini casinos. For those who don't know, what is the idea behind the mini casinos?
Well, the legislature passed their gambling expansion legislation, and in the course of developing how they wanted to expand legalized gambling, additional mini casinos was a concept that that they felt would be a successful endeavor. So they included an auction process to determine who would receive the opportunity to submit an application for what we call a Category 4 casino. It can be labeled a mini casino, mini in the sense that there are some limits on the number of slot machines and the number of table games. So on the slot side, you can have anywhere from 300 to 750 slot machines. And on the table game side, you can have up to 30 table games in the first year. And if you want to expand after that first year, you can go up to 40 table games. So in 2018, we conducted auctions, and we had 5 successful auctions where a bid was selected, the highest bid at each auction, and we're moving forward with those 5 locations. The legislature more recently wanted that process to move forward. Initially, the legislation called for up to 10 mini casinos. And, we got to 5, but we are going to reinstitute the auction process, and that will start on September the 4th. And we'll go as far as we can up to the 10 casino limit.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore. Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here.
Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more.
Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa!
I think we got a show.
Oh, yeah, we got a show.
We definitely got a show.
Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you here. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Kevin O'Toole, the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board. Where do you see them fitting into the Pennsylvania gambling market? Are they meant to compete with the bigger resort-style casinos, or are they complementary properties for the larger casinos?
They're complementary to larger casinos, but they're standalone facilities. So they're going to they're going to be successful, based upon how the operator is able to attract a patron base, and generally attracting a patron base does take a little bit of time. It's not an automatic thing on day one when any casino, large or small, opens. It takes a while to create a database slot players and a database of table game players and a database of sports bettors. But once you create that database and people come to your property and enjoy it and see that it's a comfortable place to be and an exciting place to be, it stands the test of time and becomes a successful commercial enterprise.
Now, we've received lots of questions about the mini casinos and whether sports betting will be allowed on these properties. Will these mini casinos, when they're up and running, will they offer sports betting to its customers?
All the details have not been worked out, but the general answer is yes. The mini casinos, in all likelihood, will be able to offer sports wagering.
So what's next with the mini casinos? You said there's an auction starting in September, I believe you said?
Yes, correct.
So when can we start seeing mini casinos in the state of Pennsylvania? Will they be a couple years from now, or when will they start being built?
Well, they all will be on their own individual timetable. So we are currently in the process of evaluating applications that we have received for the Category 4 licenses. We have granted one of the 5, and as we move, through the summer and into the fall, we will be scheduling the additional applicants for consideration of granting those Category 4 licenses.
Kevin, we're running out of time, but how can people keep up to date with what's going on in Pennsylvania? Does the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board have a website or any social media that people can go to keep up to date what's going on in Pennsylvania? Yes, we have a very robust website at gamingcontrolboard.pa.gov. You can find out what's going on by going onto that website. We have a communications department, and they're more than glad to field phone calls with inquiries or emails with inquiries. Kevin O'Toole, Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board. Amazing things are happening in Pennsylvania, and I know you're very busy, and I appreciate you taking some time just to let us know what's going on in the state. Thanks for joining us. You're welcome. And that's all the time we have this week for House of Cards. See you next week.
Across the desert plain, you build a house of cards around a lover's